Kelechi, I don't know what to do, Amara cried. If my parents find out that I am pregnant by Chike, they would disown me. Fueled by her anger, Ada made a vow to herself. She would destroy the life her mother had built. She would tear apart the family that had been built on lies and deceit. There lived a young girl named Amara in a vibrant African city. Amara was full of life, with dreams of a bright future. At the age of 18, she found herself deeply in love with a charming boy named Chike. Chike was handsome and full of sweet words, but he lacked the seriousness that life sometimes demands. He was the type who lived in the moment, caring little about the consequences of his actions. Amara, blinded by her affection, trusted him completely. Their relationship was full of passion, but also full of recklessness. It wasn't long before Amara discovered she was pregnant. The news hit her like a thunderbolt. She was young, inexperienced, and completely unprepared for the responsibility of raising a child. Filled with fear, Amara knew that her parents, strict and traditional, would be furious. The thought of their anger terrified her. She couldn't bring herself to tell them the truth. In her desperation, she turned to her closest friend, Kelechi, for advice. Kelechi was a kind-hearted young man, mature beyond his years, and he had always been a good friend to Amara. He listened patiently as she poured out her fears. Kelechi, I don't know what to do, Amara cried. If my parents find out that I am pregnant by Chike, they would disown me. They always want me to stay away from boys like him. Kelechi thought for a long time before he spoke. Amara, I know you are scared, but you can't do this alone. What if you told them that I'm the father? I could take responsibility. It will save you from their anger, and I promise to stand by you. Amara was taken aback by Kelechi's suggestion. It was a generous offer, but it would mean living a lie. However, with no other options and fearing the wrath of her parents, she reluctantly agreed. The decision was made, and Kelechi swore to keep the secret between them. Amara's parents were shocked when they learned she was pregnant, but they were relieved when they heard that Kelechi, a respectable young man, was willing to take responsibility. They had always liked Kelechi and were pleased that their daughter would be with someone trustworthy. With the secret safe, life continued as normal, or so it seemed. Months passed, and Amara gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Ada. Kelechi, true to his word, played the role of a father. He visited Amara and Ada regularly, bringing gifts and spending time with them. However, he and Amara never married. They both knew that their relationship was based on a lie, and while they cared for each other, they were not in love. Amara's parents were satisfied, believing that their daughter had made a wise choice. Life returned to normal and everyone moved on. However, Amara could never fully escape the guilt she felt. The secret weighed heavily on her heart, but she pushed it aside, hoping that it would never resurface. When Ada was 5 years old, Amara decided that it was time for a fresh start. The city was filled with memories of her past, and she wanted to leave it all behind. She moved to another city far away where no one knew her story. It was there that she met a kind and gentle man named Obi. Obi was a very hardworking man with a big heart. He fell in love with Amara's warm smile and her caring nature. He knew that Amara had a daughter from a previous relationship, but he didn't press her for details. Amara was relieved. She didn't want to talk about her past, and she was grateful that Obi respected her silence. As their relationship blossomed, Obi proposed and Amara accepted. They got married in a small, intimate ceremony surrounded by close friends and family. Ada was happy to see her mother smile again, and she quickly grew attached to Obi, who treated her with love and kindness. In the years that followed, Amara and Obi had 2 more children, a boy named Nnamdi and a girl named Chika. The family lived peacefully, and Amara finally felt like her life was on the right track. She believed that her past was behind her, and she focused on creating a happy home for her children. As Ada grew older, she began to notice subtle differences between herself and her siblings. Though Obi treated her with the same love and care as his own children, she couldn't help but feel that something was off. It was small things at first: whispers from neighbors, a look from a relative, or an offhand comment that didn't quite make sense. One day, when Ada was 15 years old, she overheard a conversation between two women in the market. They were talking about how fortunate Amara was to have married a good man like Obi after what happened with her first child's father. "That poor girl," one of the women said. "She was lucky to find Obi after what that Chike did to her. And Kelechi, bless his heart, stepping up like that." Ada felt her heart skip a beat. Chike, Kelechi. The conversation sent a wave of confusion and curiosity crashing over her. That evening, Ada couldn't shake the feeling that there was something her mother wasn't telling her. When Ada got home, she confronted her mother. "Mommy," she began cautiously, "who is Kelechi? And why were people talking about him today?" Amara's face turned pale. The name she had worked so hard to bury had resurfaced, and with it, the fear and guilt she had long tried to suppress. "Kelechi, he's a good man," Amara began, struggling to find the right words. He was someone who helped us when we needed it." Ada's curiosity only deepened. She sensed there was more to the story, but her mother's reluctance to share made her hesitate. Unsatisfied with the vague answer, Ada decided to investigate further on her own. As the months passed, Ada became more determined to uncover the truth. She began asking more questions, not just to her mother but to others who had known them before they moved. The answers she received were always incomplete, leaving her more frustrated than before. During this time, Kelechi, who had moved on with his life but still cared deeply for Ada, reached out to her. One day, during one of his visits, he pulled Ada aside. "Ada," he said gently, "I think you should know something important. I am not your biological father." Ada's eyes widened in shock. "What do you mean, if you're not my father? Then who is?" Kelechi sighed deeply. "That's something your mother should tell you. She has her reasons for keeping it from you, but it's time you knew the truth." Ada felt a mix of emotions: anger, confusion, and a deep sense of betrayal. She had always believed that Kelechi was her father, and now she was being told that her whole life had been based on a lie. She stormed home and demanded answers from her mother. Amara, seeing the fury in her daughter's eyes, knew that the time had come to reveal the truth. She sat Ada down and began to tell her everything. The relationship with Chike, the pregnancy, the fear of her parents' reaction, and the desperate decision to ask Kelechi to take responsibility. "I was young, Ada," Amara said, tears streaming down her face. "I was scared out of my mind. I didn't know what else to do. Kelechi was my best friend and he offered to help. I thought it was the only way to protect you and me. I never wanted to hurt you." Ada listened in silence, her heart breaking with every word. When her mother finished, she was speechless. The weight of the truth pressed down on her, and she felt as though her whole world has been turned upside down. "You lied to me," Ada finally said, her voice trembling with emotion. "You lied to everyone. How could you?" "I am sorry, Ada," Amara pleaded. "I did what I thought was best at the time. I never wanted to hurt you." But Ada couldn't hear her mother's words through the anger and pain that consumed her. She felt betrayed, not just by her mother, but by everyone who had kept the truth from her. In her mind, they had all conspired to deceive her. Fueled by her anger, Ada made a vow to herself. She would destroy the life her mother had built. She would tear apart the family that had been built on lies and deceit. Ada's transformation was swift. She went from being a sweet, loving daughter to a bitter and vengeful young woman. She started by sowing seeds of discord and doubts within the family. She whispered lies into her siblings' ears, telling them that their mother favored her because she was the firstborn. "Do you know why mom loves me more?" She would say to Nnamdi. "It's because I was her first child. She'll never love you as much as she loves me." To Chika, she would say, "Mommy always said she wanted a daughter first. That's why she loves me more than you." Her words began to take root in her siblings' minds, and soon they started to fight with each other over their mother's affection. The once harmonious relationship between Nnamdi and Chika became strained as they vied for their mother's affection. But Ada didn't stop there. She began spreading rumors about her mother's past, whispering to her stepfather that Amara was still in contact with Chike. "I heard Mama talking on the phone with someone," she said to Obi one day. It sounded like she was planning to meet up with him. Obi, who had always trusted Amara, began to doubt his wife. The seed of suspicion planted by Ada grew, and he started to distance himself from Amara. Their once loving relationship became cold and distant, filled with unspoken accusations and mistrust. Amara, sensing the change in her husband, tried to reach out to him, but Obi's coldness only grew. He began questioning her about her past, something he had never done before. Amara was devastated. She could feel her family slipping away from her, and she didn't know how to stop it. As the weeks turned into months, the tension in the household reached a boiling point. Nnamdi and Chika's fights became more frequent and intense, and Obi's distrust of Amara deepened. The once warm and loving home had become a place of constant conflict and pain. Ada watched it all unfold with a sense of satisfaction. She had set out to destroy her mother's life, and she was succeeding. But as time went on, something began to change within her. The satisfaction she felt from causing pain started to diminish, replaced by a growing sense of emptiness and shame. She saw the hurt in her siblings' eyes when they fought with each other. She saw the sadness in her stepfather's face as he struggled with his doubts. And most of all, she saw the deep sorrow in her mother's eyes as she watched her family fall apart. One night, after yet another explosive argument, Ada found herself alone in her room, staring at the ceiling. The silence was deafening, and for the first time, she truly began to reflect on what she had done. She had been so consumed by her anger that she didn't stop to think about the consequences of her actions. Ada realized that in trying to punish her mother, she had hurt not just her, but everyone in the family. She had driven a wedge between her siblings, turned her stepfather against her mother, and caused immense pain to the people who had always loved and cared for her. Tears filled Ada's eyes as the weight of her actions came crushing down on her. She had made a terrible mistake, and now she didn't know how to fix it. The next morning, Ada knew what she had to do. She had to make things right, no matter how difficult it would be. She started by approaching her mother. Amara was in the kitchen, her face etched with worry and exhaustion. She looked up as Ada entered the kitchen, and for a moment, there was silence between them. "Mother," Ada began, her voice trembling, I need to talk to you." Amara's heart raced as she waited for her daughter to continue. Ada took a deep breath and said, "I've done something terrible. I've been lying to everyone, trying to tear this family apart because I was angry at you. I wanted to hurt you for what you did, but I ended up hurting everyone." Amara's face filled with tears as she listened to her daughter's confession. She had known that Ada was troubled, but she didn't realize the extent of her pain. "Ada," she whispered, "I'm so sorry. I never wanted any of this to happen. I love you so much, and I'm so sorry for everything. "I'm sorry too, mother," Ada said, tears streaming down her face. "I was angry and I didn't know how to deal with it. I'm sorry for everything I've done. I just want to make things right." Amara pulled her daughter into her arms and held her tightly. "We'll get through this," she said softly. "We'll fix this together." With her mother's support, Ada began the difficult task of mending the relationships she had damaged. She started with her siblings, sitting down with Nnamdi and Chika to explain what she had done and why. "I'm sorry for everything I said," Ada told them. "I was wrong to try and turn you against each other. I was hurting, and I let that hurt control me. I hope you can forgive me." Nnamdi and Chika, though hurt by Ada's actions, could see the sincerity in her apology. They forgave her, and the bond between them began to heal. It wasn't easy, and it took time, but slowly, the rift that had been created started to close. Next, Ada went to her stepfather Obi. She confessed everything to him: the lies she had told, the rumors she had spread, and the pain she had caused. Obi listened in silence, his face a mixture of sadness and relief. "I am sorry, Daddy," Ada said, her voice breaking. "I never meant to hurt you. I was just so angry, and I didn't know how to deal with it. Please forgive me." Obi, though deeply hurt by the betrayal, saw the remorse in Ada's eyes. He forgave her, and the distance that had grown between him and Amara began to fade. The love they had for each other, though tested, remained strong. The family worked hard to rebuild what had been broken. There were many difficult conversations and moments of pain, but they faced them together. Ada learned the importance of honesty and forgiveness, and she grew closer to her family than ever before. Amara, too, learned valuable lessons. She realized that secrets, no matter how well intentioned, can cause deep and lasting harm. She vowed to always be honest with her family, no matter how difficult the truth might be. The family's home, once filled with tension and mistrust, became a place of warmth and love again. Ada's siblings forgave her, and their bond grew stronger. Obi and Amara, though they had been through a difficult time, emerged with a deeper understanding of each other. Ada also reached out to Kelechi, the man who had played the role of her father for many years. She thanked him for his kindness and for being there for her when she needed him most. Kelechi, who had always cared for Ada, was relieved to see her find peace. As the years passed, Ada grew into a strong and compassionate woman. She never forgot the lessons she had learned and vowed to live her life with love and integrity. She understood that her mother had made mistakes, but those mistakes did not define the love and care that had been given to her. The scars from the past remained, but they served as a reminder of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Ada's journey was not just one of redemption, but also of growth and understanding. She learned that while anger and pain can consume us, forgiveness and love have the power to heal. And so, the family lived on, bound by the lessons of forgiveness, love, and the unbreakable bond that held them together. They faced life's challenges together, knowing that no matter what had happened, they would always have each other. The story of Ada and her family teaches us the importance of honesty in our relationships. Secrets, even those kept with good intentions, can lead to pain and division. Being truthful, even when it's difficult, is essential for building trust and maintaining strong relationships. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this captivating story. Please don't forget to like and share these stories. Until next time, bye guys!